All right, is this going? I think it is. I'm gonna, nope, that's not the button that I wanted to hit. I wanted to go here and go into this. There we go. Okay, hi. If you are watching this after this stream is over, then please feel free to leave comments anyway, because I do go in and read everything after everything's done. If you are watching this live, which I hope that you are, then please feel free to share this and tell people that you are in fact watching and they should come and join in. And also hello and thank you for coming. And if you are watching this live, if you come into this thinking, oh, Amanda's going to be a really big sobbing mess during this, then you know I've done my job right, and you absolutely know that that's what's going to happen. So, hello. Okay. Yeah, I was a little emotional for a while. I've just gotten myself under control. I have to put the phone away because otherwise I'm going to be getting some updates. Because of course my hockey team has started to play in the last half hour and they have to play now. And if I get distracted, it's because I'm looking at Twitter and looking at the sports feed on my Twitter going, hey, this is what's happening. So, okay. So hello. So many things happened this episode. I am very emotional about all of it. There was a lot of internal screaming. There was some possible external screaming. There was some everything. And like, why is everybody in Camelot shady? Like there's a lot that was going on this episode, and I need to get my notes up because I had to, when I unplugged my computer turned off because my battery doesn't work anymore. It does not even try to stay awake anymore. It just shuts off. So I saved my notes, thankfully, and bring them up. Okay, so OMG, this episode. I'm only wearing my hook shirt today. I finally found it. It was buried between a couple other shirts in my closet. I would have worn my Captain Swan shirt, but all of my CS clothes have been in the wash because I wore them all this week because it was a good week for if you have anything to do with Emma or Killian. This was a good week to be you. Okay. So hello everybody. All the comments are pouring in. So many things are happening. Let's start at the top as we are wont to do. So we had a flashback as this show is known for, and we went way back when Arthur and Gwen were children. And again, like this casting department, there's going to be, so we're going to discuss some things later on in the episode, or in the stream, whatever you want to call it. But this casting department, holy crap, they've managed to find this child to play little Arthur who had the same like beautiful haunting eyes as Liam Garrigan has. And like, how and what, like, where were they for Harry Potter? Like, get the ABC casting department back in time to go work with Harry Potter, because like these kids that they get to play the adults are like the children version of the adults. They could actually be them, and it's insane. It's so crazy. So like, okay, yeah, that was my only real note about that. And then there's like the roses, and they're real cute, and he's like, I'm gonna get you this castle and we're gonna be the king and queen, and gonna be great. And then he's like being bullied and like trying to make him sympathetic, which later just flies completely out the window for me. There is no sympathy left for Arthur whatsoever. So he's just a little stable boy, and my friend Tina, I'm sure, is having a lot of feelings about the stable boy situation because she's big with Regina and going back to Daniel. But that's me and my interpretation. I just have it on here. Stable boy. I can hear Tina having feelings. So then we go back to the present, and then there's David discussing. He's talking with Arthur about the sword, because Arthur lets him in on the fact that the sword is not whole, and David's like, oh, that would be the thing that's controlling my daughter, and I'm should I give that to you? It's like, okay, so he wants your help, but don't do that because that's bad. Yeah, there's so many things. And then we go to Emma. We find out what Emma's hobby is. So back in episode 1, the Dark Room was like, you need to find a hobby because you need to do something when you're not sleeping. And Emma is making Dreamcatcher feelings. I think next week is the episode entitled Dreamcatcher. So hopefully we will get a little more detail into exactly why. Like, I know there's the whole connection with Neil and it's flypaper for nightmares, and I think it would be because she's doing it to keep anti-Jiminy Cricket, evil Jiminy Cricket, out of her head. Like, she's trying to catch him because he's the bad thoughts and he's the bad dreams that she's trying to keep away. But she's getting better. I like that they're very rustic. Like, they're not really like the polished one that was in Neil's apartment or that they stole from the hotel. It's really nice that they are kind of more handmade, traditional. And I would be really interested to see if I'd be interested to find out, because I doubt that they're like, we're actually going to see it, but it'd be really neat if we could see if like the once department, like the props department, like bought it from like local native tribes or anything like that, indigenous tribe. Like, that would be really, it'd be really cool if that's what happened. I don't know, but they're all very rustic and actually look like they're handmade. So like, I like that. But again, I think we're going to get a little bit more into why she's making dream catchers, like the nitty gritty about that next episode, since it is the title of it. Is this going? Because my comments aren't. Yes, it's still going. Yeah, comment stream is not there. It goes, just updated when I clicked on it to activate it. So she's making dream catchers, and then she gets lured away by the daggers calling to her, like some weird mental thing. I'm going to be fidgety because I have lots of energy and emotion and feelings. Otherwise, I'm going to be picking at my remaining 4 fake fingernails, and I need to stop doing that. So she goes to she follows the voices, which never, like, did you watch Harry Potter? Don't follow the voices that nobody else can hear, Emma. Like, it's not good. You're gonna find yourself face to face with a basilisk. Just don't do that. And then Regina's placed this crazy spell over it, and that snaps her back out enough to go, no, I don't want to take this because I gave it to Regina for a reason. And so I don't have all this ultimate power and blah, blah, blah. So she attacks and tries to get Rumple to go away, and then Killian's there and she almost like burns his face off. And I'm just like, oh no, don't do that. But then he's completely undeterred by it. He's just like, oh, just my girlfriend trying to beat me up. I'm going to go hug her and make her feel better. And it's not working because the darkness is getting, in the first episode when she hugged both Henry and Killian, the dark one went away. But because she's becoming more immersed in darkness, I guess, it's like slowly creeping in. Like, it's not working anymore. So they have to like resort to more drastic measures for it. So then we have... what was it? Regina and Snow, they're all in the room, and Regina and Snow, that's when we go to the bedroom and Emma's kind of out of it and she hasn't said anything, and they're all worried about her, and then Regina comes in and is like, WTF. And then Henry and Killian take Emma away, and then like David and Snow just like start going at it, and I'm just sitting there like, it's really uncomfortable to watch David and Snow fight, because it's like watching your parents argue, and you're just like, I don't like this. Mom and Dad, stop fighting. And like they do the whole thing where like, Regina, can you give us a couple of minutes? And she like rolls her eyes. She's like, I love Regina's whole like, I don't have time for you guys to be petty little children. Like, I just fine, whatever. She's vanishes. That was a good Regina moment. So I really liked that they showed that, like, you know, I love every moment of humanity they give to Snow and Charming, because they do really go into like, you know, they're this power couple, and they share a heart, and they're true love, and everything's perfect and happy, sunshine, rainbow. So I do like it when they actually have Snow and Charming like really disagreeing on stuff, because it does add a level of humanity to them, and it's great because you're like, they're real people and these are like attainable goals and everything. So that's that. And there are comments pouring in. I keep seeing it jumping. So yes, so many things are happening. All right, yeah, Camelot's super shady. We're gonna get to the shady Camelot stuff, because like I don't trust Lancelot even. Like, there's everything's happening. I don't trust anything. And I don't know what happens if the dagger and the sword are attached. there's some rumors floating around about it, but I'm trying to ignore them. So I don't know anything about that. I liked that it was a lot of Camelot, though. Not like there's one comment, too much Camelot, not enough Storybook. I like that we're getting more backstory because then it feeds into why Emma's being how it is now. And I think next week we're going to have a lot of Storybrooke and not a lot of Camelot. I think we're going to rebalance it out because we have the preview that showed Merida with gold and like Emma in the present. There's a lot of most everything I think in the present day was Storybrooke stuff. So I think it's going to kind of balance it out. But we needed some backstory with this episode. And it jumped again. Yeah, the memories thing. I don't know. The Avalon dust was snowing. I don't know if if going back to our world snaps that, or if the memory removal thing snaps that. Because I think maybe Emma removed memories, so it also undid the effect of the sand. But we'll get to that a little bit later because I have thoughts about that. I missed a lot of it because I was too busy freaking out over the previous scene. Yeah, I have to think about the Avalon dust a little bit more on that. But good point with that. We'll bring that up a little bit later. Yeah, we'll get to some stuff with Merida too because man, they made kind of a big deal about how Merida was coming, and then she was in one episode. So like, we'll talk about a little bit more about Merida too. We'll talk about her at the end of the episode. We're not going to talk about the white picket fence yet. We'll get there. I have to build up to it because I just worked myself down. There were some tears, and I had to bring myself back down. So we'll get to the white picket fence. I have it in my notes, so don't worry. I don't know if they know that the Dark One doesn't sleep. I mean, I think at this point, I think they might know because it's been a couple of days. So I don't know. But I don't know if they don't know if the Dark One doesn't sleep. We'll get to that too. The nosy parents, we'll get to that. It's not wrong that you ship Snow and Lancelot. A lot of people do. I don't personally ship anything outside of Snowing because they are perfect for each other. But I think Lancelot is just really easy to ship with everybody because he's a very handsome fellow. Lancelot, his smile just lights up a room. He's a very handsome fellow. So you can very easily ship Lancelot with a lot of people. So if you want to, go right ahead. But personally, I don't, but I can see where you can. I mean, I ship Lancelot with me, but that's just me. I think I would be sharing him with several other people, but yeah, we will get to the parents thing. We'll get to that. Yeah, and I think Belle probably would have mentioned the Dark One doesn't sleep. I think at this point they would have noticed, but that's, again, just me. Okay, there it is. I lost my place again because it keeps jumping. I can't. Yeah, we're catching, like, the whole thing with, like, this episode really, like, laid a lot of groundwork for why Emma might be angry, like, when she finds out stuff. But this also gives a lot into why the Charmings were, like, why she was mad at them, because they were under Shady McShaderson's control. Yeah, Rumpel probably figured out how to fake sleeping, but, like, if I don't know. I'm trying not to think about it, but I'm sure they figured that out. Again, Avalon Dust, we'll talk about that a little bit later. We'll get to that. The 6 weeks, well, like, we jump around a lot, like, time wise, and I think this is meant to, like, since we saw like the wall full of dream catchers, like, I'm sure that it took a while for Emma to, like, fear that, so probably a couple of days, so maybe like a week or two has passed. So we'll get through Camelot, don't worry, we'll get there. If we manage to get through a lot of backstory with the other characters and then manage to squeeze little teeny, like, oh, this happened on this day and it was important 4 seasons later, like, I think we can manage to get through the 6 weeks of Camelot. I'm sure there's some downtime that we're not seeing because that's just how it works. All right. The season being pace with the pacing of this season, show has always been an issue. I was just talking about this with a friend recently. Like, it would be nice if we could stretch things out, but like since they want to do this two story arcs per, um, they want to do two story arcs per season with an overarching theme to tie it all together. They kind of have to move a little bit quicker. It would be nice if they didn't, because I did like that we could get into some nitty gritty stuff like I did with season one. But again, like there are things that I would love for them to just dig in a little bit deeper and talk about, but that's just not what we're going to get if they want to continue this two story arcs per season, which I think is what they want to do. So we will get there. Okay, so I'm caught up to the top and you guys are talking to each other, which is good. So we flash ahead to, okay, this is the part where I got confused because it's 5 years ago, and then I don't know if this was confirmed or not, how possibly Camelot exists at all points in time. So 5 years ago, Camelot time is very different from our time. I'm thinking that that's how they want to make it go, because I'm very confused otherwise as to how a lot of things with this whole Arthur's quest for the Dark One dagger is just not. I don't understand like that part of it. I think if they need to give us a little bit more of how Camelot exists separately around everything else with it. I don't know. So Arthur with this, he's very obsessed with completing the sword. So he has all these big dreams. He has he has a sword, and he's like, okay, I'm going to find the other half. It's only the beginning of my quest is to get the one side of it, and then we're going to get going into the rest of it. So he's working very hard. He's translating all these documents. He's really going after everything that he needs. But at the expense of his wife. So he's really his obsession with finding the dagger is paralleled again. There's a lot of parallels with his obsession with finding the dagger to complete the sword, and some other things, and we're going to talk about that later as well. So he's getting really obsessed with finding this dagger, and he's sacrificing his marriage, I guess, because Guinevere comes in. She's like, I need you, just come do this party with me tonight. Let's go have some fun. You need to, leave this behind, just relax for a night. And he's like, okay, just give me 5 minutes. Well, 5 minutes turns into a long time later. So he's missing Guinevere's birthday, it turns out, which, that's great husband points right there. So then Lancelot steps in. It turns out Lancelot actually planned the party, and he got these rose petals for her to make it look like Arthur did it, because he knows these rose petals, they mean a lot to her. I think there was a name for what kind of flower it was, but I didn't catch it. I wasn't looking like that. I wasn't listening, or I didn't catch it, or whatever. I need to go rewatch the episode again. So this is the beginning of the whole Lancelot Guinevere thing. Arthur is so obsessed that he comes out and he's like, I figured it out. And she's like, but you just, he's like, I'm going to go do this. I can leave right now and I'll be back here tomorrow and I'll have it. And she's like, but I don't, and Lancelot's just like, all right, let's go. And he's like, no, you're going to stay here and protect my wife, which again, he's so blinded by everything and by his ambition that they're setting him up to be the kind of villain that's he's trying to do so much good and be the perfect hero that all backfires on him. And it turns out that he was the villain all along. You're trying to do the best you can for everybody, and that's how you become the most worst person ever. Looking at you, Joseph Stalin. I don't think he was actually trying to do the best he could, but let's read Animal Farm. We'll figure out how exactly that works. Absolute power corrupts absolutely. And so Arthur goes off in his little quest, and then we go back to the future, which is Wednesday. So everybody get ready to dress super 80s 2015 on Wednesday. We go back to the present day, and David goes and talks to Arthur, and he's like, hey, we have the other half. We were lying to you the whole time. David, David, what are you doing? Uh, like this whole scene, like it was set up very well. The payoff, I was like, oh, thank God. But like the whole, like it was set up very well for David to just be like, okay, I have this, and we're gonna go and I'm gonna give this to you, and then it wasn't there, and Arthur got super angry, which again is to show like how obsessed and how consumed he is now by his quest to find the dagger, that like he was like probably ready to just take the blunt end of it and try to like hack David's head off with what is there of Excalibur. So um yeah, I'm looking through comments. I just saw a bunch pop through. Yeah. Yep, we have. I know about the finale and all that. We'll get to that. Um, Arthur is like Rumpel, but also he's paralleling against like Killian, and we will talk about that too because that was a really good parallel that somebody pointed out. So the 5 years earlier thing, we're gonna get on that too because that part is where I'm like confused. So we'll talk about that. And oh my gosh, like 1,000 comments just came in. I can't see everything. Yeah, Camelot time has to be different because 5 years ago, the Dark One was under a curse in our land. So I was like watching this going, but the dagger is not in Camelot or in anywhere that we can get to because it's in our world with Rumpelstiltskin, who is Mr. Gold, and he doesn't remember that he's Rumpelstiltskin. And like I was so confused about that. So we'll get to that. All right, Oni Harkonnen, we will get to like the other stuff. I just want you to know that like we don't really get into super spoilers, just like casting stuff and like what was released on official sources. So we don't really do a lot of like, we're going to not really talk about 5B because right now it's all speculation and I try not to do that. So just letting you know, I'm seeing a lot of comments that's just like stuff that we don't talk about here. So looking, I've just jumped again. Yeah, I'm trying not to think about it. I had some body horror thoughts earlier about the first curse, which we can talk about if you want me to discuss the complete and total horror that I thought of for the 28-year curse for, yeah, the magical time freezing spells and whatnot. Yeah, Arthur's a lot like the Dark One, and okay. So no, Rumple did not remember in season 1 until Regina said please, and then like if you rewatch the first couple of episodes, there's one episode where like Regina remembers and then Rumple says something like, well, you have to say the magic word or like something, and Regina says please, and then you just see this very slight tick in Robert Carlyle's expression just changes just a little bit, and you're just like, aha, that unlocked the thing, because he said in one episode, all you have to do is say please, and that's his whole like thing about how he gets to do whatever. So he doesn't remember until she says that, and then like 4 or 5 episodes in, and she's like, do you remember? And he's like, remember what? And like there's this whole great scene between them. I love when Lana and Robert get to play with each other because they are really great when they're in top form. So we'll get to that. Sorry, I'm just double checking. Okay, yay, Canucks scored. Sorry, just check my Twitter feed to see if there's any messages, and I just saw game stuff. Okay, so back to the episode. Oh, this is me just yelling. There was a lot of like 4 or 5 lines of me just yelling at David, like, stop doing this. This is so bad. Charming, what are you doing? So I liked in the flashback that like Gwen was trying to just take the gauntlet and go, and like, okay, we're just gonna
get this done. So I like that we're still playing on the idea of like that how once is set up, that's just like, you know, that we're not how we don't have damsels in distress. We have women getting shit done. So that's exactly what Gwen was doing. She's like, here's this gauntlet and I'm going to use it and I'm going to end this because I want to get my husband back because I hate all of this. So good on you, Gwen. And then Lancelot's just like, well, girl, I'm going to come with you because you need a little bit of backup. And she's like, all right, just don't slow me down. So then Lancelot and Guinevere go on an adventure. I really liked that. And I really, here's the best outfit of the episode. It was Gwen's adventuring outfit because I love, again, you all know how much I love Snow White's battle outfit, the white outfit and the way her hair is, how it's got the braids and then got the little ponytail in the back. It just makes her head, like her hair, like she looks like she has so much hair. And they kind of had that playing today with Gwen's outfit, and I really liked it. I loved the cream outfit, the cream and the gold. It really set off her skin tone really well. She had the braids into a ponytail, and it looked like it was mostly ponytail and then a little bit maybe hanging out the back. But like her hair was great. I don't know the actress's name, and I feel bad, but she's gorgeous, and I love her. And all the outfit stuff Eduardo's doing for her, I'm just like, yeah, good job. So that's my best outfit of the day is Guinevere's adventuring outfit and hairstyle. Okay, so now we get into the what the hell's going on with this darkness thing, because the darkness comes and tries to like take over Lancelot, which I'm a little I think the darkness trying to consume Lancelot like it did with Regina at the end of the episode of last season. It really like got into like it's people who are like most susceptible to the darkness. So I'm really wondering why Lancelot could do that. Like I'm so confused about everything. And I like because the darkness and the dark one were in our world 5 years ago. So I feel like 5 years ago Camelot time is so much different than our time. And just I'm so I don't know, because wasn't Lancelot in Haven with Cora, like Cora had that little bubble that got saved, and then like because I know she and Killian got frozen in time in that, and that's how they could be like the same age that they were, one time when they froze everything. So like I thought he was there, and I need more Lancelot storyline. Just so, get on that, please, because I'm so confused by this whole Lancelot thing and like why he's more susceptible to darkness than Guinevere. And I'm questions. And I know this is, episodic and it's, it's all connecting and everything, and we'll get the answers eventually, but I would like the answers to come sooner rather than later because I am very confused. So yeah. What? Oh, I just had David. What even? Okay. Oh, it was because David brought up the dagger, and it turned out that Snow had taken it, and she was going to go hide it in Granny's diner for reasons. And then Lancelot was there, and my whole thing was like, I thought Regina had the dagger under this like spell, and that's why like. That's why Emma couldn't take it, was because it was under the spell, and I'm just so I know this show, like the nickname of the show is Once Upon a Plot Hole, but now that like I know the ending, like I know that Regina actually like took it off of that, took the spell off it so she can go hide it somewhere else. So I get that. I'm like at the time I was just like, how and why? So at least that was resolved quite a little bit. So yeah, so Snow's like, okay, we're gonna go hide this dagger, and she has Lancelot, and I don't trust Lancelot. I'm gonna keep saying it. I don't trust him yet. Everybody's just shady. I don't trust anybody. I also want to know why Granny's was like going to Granny's was like super, super dark, and it's like nighttime. But then we immediately cut to Henry and Emma and Killian going to the stables, and it's daytime again. I think time just is weird. I think time is just weird in Camelot, and I just stopped thinking about it. But those are my questions. Why is everything night and day all the time, everywhere? So, okay, so this scene, like, I had a lot of emotions in general about a lot of things with the whole horses thing, because the big fanfic I'm writing right now is all very horse centric. So this I was having feels about my own freaking fic. But we have them going into this stable, and Henry's like, "Oh yeah, this girl that I'm kind of talking to," and like Emma's face is just like, "What?" And Killian's face immediately lights up, like, "Oh, you have a girlfriend." Henry's just like, "It's not like that." No, I think it's like that. It's not like that. The look on for the entire exchange, I was just like, "Oh no, proud Papa Killian's here," and I was not prepared. Nobody prepared me for this. And I'm still not like I missed most of the next scene because I was too busy going, I'm not prepared for proud steppapa Killian. I'm not this is not emotions that I was prepared to handle today. I'm still not prepared to handle them. And like just the whole scene, you just could tell he just wanted to give him so much crap about it. Just be like, so you like a girl? And he's like, I don't like a girl. You like a girl. It was so funny. And the way that he's just like, oh, she's coming. And then they just like hide behind the stall door and they're like peeking over the top. Like she's concerned and he has his freaking eyebrows are just like, oh, really? This is what, like, oh my, this scene, you guys, like I missed the horse's name. I like somebody please tell me what Violet's horse's name is because I I have a lot of I'm emotionally compromised by this scene of Emma and Killian being parents to Henry, and I I can't do it. I can't. Like I just have go horseback riding together, live my effing dreams, like in all caps, before I go to the next scene where I'm just like I don't know what's going on because I missed half of it, and I'm not okay. I'm not okay. That's my emotional state right now. I have missed all these comments because I had the screen up to make sure I was still streaming. But so that's my state of not okay. And before we go into, we'll get through this really quickly and then I'll go to comments because it'll be like the commercial cutscene. So we get to the door, this weird door that leads to a jungle somewhere. I'm not really sure if we're like in Wonderland or if we're back in Neverland or if we're in Tarzan's jungle or something. I don't know where we are, but somehow the dagger is here but it doesn't have a name on it, but it's in this cage that's really like magically protected and I don't understand what's happening or why. But Rumpelstiltskin is there and he's taunting them, and that's how he gets the gauntlet, is he trades the gauntlet for this sand that is really shady sand. And I don't understand. Like, I just want to understand this timeline. And I know it's once upon a time, and understanding the timeline is a futile effort. But all I want to do is understand this broken heart sand and this timeline and this 5 years ago. But really, it's not 5 years ago. I don't know what's happening, and I don't like it. I'm hoping that we're gonna get cleared up on this soon because I really just need to know what's going on with this timeline. So yeah, so Rumpel's there and I don't understand. And yeah, so like why are we leaving this dagger in this place? Like this jungle that is somewhere. We're just leaving the dagger here for reasons, I suppose. And then like Snow and Lancelot get into this thing where he's like, well, why don't you let me do it? And that's the part where I just don't trust him. Because when somebody asks, well, don't you trust me? That's the point where you don't trust them. Like, because your gut instincts are right. So just continue to not trust them. And then out pops Arthur, and then everything cuts to black and goes to commercial. So that's where I'm going to cut to black and go to comments, because I'm sure a bunch have come up here. So okay. Wow. All right, so this is where I am. All right, so maybe Rumpel remembered hearing Emma's name, but like it wasn't until Regina said please that was like the key, because you could just see this little thing in his eyes. Like it's a very subtle facial tick, but it's just like enough to make you go, you shady mofo, you know something. I need water. Also, I have lifesavers to make my throat better, because I guarantee that this is going to be a long talk tonight. Yeah, I don't understand about that thing. I just saw the actress for Gwen's name and it jumped. Joanna Mitras, Jonah Mitras. I'm gonna have to look up how to pronounce that properly, because I'm sure that I'm screwing it up, and I don't mean to screw it up, and I want to say it correctly. But yeah, she's great. I don't trust anybody in Camelot right now. Do not trust anyone in Camelot. I'm so freaking not trusting of anybody. It's not even the Avalon Sand, because Lancelot was already gone when the Avalon Sand hit. So like, I don't know. It was dark because of all the shade in Camelot. Nice. Maybe it was just in the dark forest. I don't know. Oh, Killian telling Henry to have his escape plan for the hayloft tumbling. Oh, I don't think he would. Henry's 13. He's too young. I'm being Henry's mom right now. He's too young to be doing that. I want Robin to, like, that's my, like, I've said this before in a previous stream, but my dream is to have, like, okay, so we already had David being wingman for Henry, and now we have Killian doing the you have a girlfriend, and now I want Robin, because it's just like the trifecta of dad. Dad and grandpa just doing the whole like, you've got a girlfriend. Like, and now I want Robin to find out. And I think next week might be I know we're supposed to get some more Robin backstory. If not this half of the season, the next half of the season. So I really want there to be more Robin to just be like, so you've got a girlfriend. He's like, oh my God, would all of my dads and dad figures stop doing this? That's all I want in life, is for everybody to just tease Henry about Violet. But that's just me, and I have a lot of feelings about father figures and stuff. So yeah, Emma's surprised, because Emma's still like used to just like Henry. I'm sure in Emma's mind, Henry's still like this cheeky little 10-year-old kid who came and got her from Boston. So like, she's like, wait, what do you mean he has a girlfriend? Oh, why is this not going? I know that okay, update, refresh. Yeah, I think I thought the jungle looked more like Neverland, but then I thought Wonderland, and I don't know why I thought Wonderland, because it really wasn't as bizarre as Wonderland actually is. So I don't really know who it is. I don't know where this jungle is, and it's kind of driving me crazy, and I really would like to know. So Ignatius. Oh, that's because Henry had the quip about like, if it's the name that she said was her father, and so I was like, so it has to be kind of like a human name if it's like, if she's thinking that he's going to meet her father, but then it's her horse. So Ignatius, yeah, I can see that being kind of a dad name. Okay, I think I need to go to the actual page, because I'm not seeing a comment stream. Okay, so no, I have not watched Once Upon a Time in Wonderland yet. I know everybody's wanting me to watch it. I have not seen it yet. Last episode I said the same thing. I was like, I know I haven't watched it yet. I'll get to it. So yeah, I have not watched Once in Wonderland just yet. I don't know if they're gonna bring back Wolfscar. I mean, I'm sure he's on the hook. I'm sure. Ha. So I'm sure that they're gonna have him at some point. He's still a member of the cast, but he got downgraded from a regular because he was a season regular last season, and then he got downgraded again this season. So I don't know what's going on with that. So I'm just checking the other social media areas for people if they have messaged me because I can't get in the comments. Stream. Okay, and all right. Okay, so there's that. We're gonna go back to this comment or my note. So then we go back to Arthur was spying on Gwen and Lancelot, which conveniently he decided to start spying on them after not caring about where Guinevere was for quite a while, it felt like. So there's that. And they have this confrontation. He thinks she has a dagger and he like freaks out at her. And I'm just like, it gets progressively worse and worse and worse. And I'm just like, Arthur, you're not making me like you anymore. And I don't know what to do. And then he takes the sand. And this is where I just got super pissed. And I I don't know how to like properly express how angry I am about this, but he just like basically hypnotized his wife into staying. And I'm just like, you don't do that. That's like the ultimate dick move right there, is just be like, oh, you're leaving. Guess what? You're not leaving. So just dick move. Just super dick move. He hypnotized her into staying, and then like they throw the dust over Camelot, and like I managed to make this moment good for myself because it was like, oh well, that's why Camelot Castle looks so fake. It's because it actually is fake. So like that's the only thing that I could like get out of the situation to make it better, is just I don't like, just I hate people like that. I hate people who trick and force their significant others to stay with them. Like I don't like, I hate it. I hate it a lot. And I don't okay, we're gonna keep going because it's super gross, and I'm just gonna get progressively more and more angry about it, and I'm smiling to keep the rage from not coming out again. So, okay. So Camelot looks fake because it is fake, and everybody just sucks, and Arthur sucks most of all. And I'm so just like, it goes back to this mysterious jungle that we don't know where it's at, and still everybody just sucks. But Arthur is just the worst of them. He's the worst, and he tries to summon Emma because he finally has a Dark One's dagger. And at first I thought they were going to do the whole like, well, she's not in this realm, so that's why she's not going to come, because they went through this door to another land. But then we have, surprise, the only bad person here is Arthur and possibly Lancelot, because I still don't trust him. So I'm just so happy that not everybody is an idiot. Thank you for that. And they capture him, and I think Lancelot's just like, he's on their side. So for now, like I just don't trust him. I don't, until I'm proven otherwise. I'm not going to trust him. I think they tried to get me to trust him at the end of the episode, but I'm not going to do it yet. So then we go back to so Killian and Emma are traipsing through the forest with the horse, and like I'm just dying because I have a lot of feelings about Captain Swan and horses. I just sat there. I didn't really take any notes except for I wrote, "I'm going to explode," and that's it. That's all I wrote about it. I had to like go back later and add notes about the scene once I finished having heart palpitations. So we had this big scene that I think was like, we had the big heartbreaking scene last episode. So this episode was meant to show that, like, you know, yeah, he did that, but it's for a reason. And that reason is that, like, that's not who Emma is right now, in present day Storybrooke, and that, like, he's scared and he doesn't know what's going on because she took his memories. He doesn't know why she's doing this, and she's expecting him to blindly trust her, and that's not how this works. That's not how a good, healthy relationship works. So he's like, you need to trust me, and you need to trust me to take care of this, and like put your faith in me, and like, just get on this back of this horse. And then let us not forget the time that Emma was just like, you think we can just get past this and go back to having, this life and this white picket fence together? And that's the point where I died, and I am now vlogging to you from the afterlife because words, I don't have them. So if I could get onto the floor, I would, but I can't because I am stuck in my nest chair. So I'm just going to be like, okay, feelings, emotions. Yeah. Okay. So then we go back to, they were back in Granny's diner with Snowing and Arthur's just being this shady guy who's sitting there like contemplating his arrest. And they're like, well, why isn't he's not saying anything? He's usually very talkative. And it turns out he has the cavalry coming because he has his brainwashed wife in charge of everything. Which I just for Gwen's, he's taking this wonderful woman who would have done anything for him and just ruined her. He broke her in a magical way. That's not how that's not how you love people. Like, we learned this in season 1, and it ended with Regina killing Graham because he wasn't listening to her anymore because she just wanted a toy and not a person. Like, I'm so angry about this. And they're painting him in a villain that I want them to just get rid of because I'm so angry about it. And then Gwen, they still have like 4 grains of sand left because that bottle looked pretty empty when Gwen tipped it over into her hand and somehow fixed Snowing. I don't know what exactly they fixed except for them to like be not trusting Arthur. Don't know, but now they're brainwashed, and that's, good job, everybody. Not really, just kidding. And we jump to what was it? Oh, yeah, we jumped to Lancelot's getting thrown into the dungeon, and somehow Merida's there, and I'm glad that she's at least back because she was in one episode. They made this big deal about how she's in this season, and then she wasn't. So somehow she got captured, and now Merida and Lancelot are going to be BFFs and storm the castle. And I think that I think that was supposed to be the point where they're like, okay, well, this is why you're supposed to trust Lancelot instead of your previous assumption where you weren't trusting Lancelot. I'm still not going to trust Lancelot until you give me a good reason for it, other than Merida's like, we're going to be friends. Well, the enemy of your enemy is your friend, but that doesn't mean that you have to like him. It just means he's a good ally. So, what was it was me yelling about something from Spoiler Pictures that I've been waiting for since July. So then we have we have Robin and Regina, and we need more we need more Robin and Regina scenes, but like that's a common complaint. So Robin and Regina's freaking out. I liked it. What was it? I get nervous when I don't have somebody to hate. And I was like, that's a pretty accurate summation of Regina's character. So I approve of that. And Robin worrying about her because that's what Robin does. That was good. And Then the Charmings are just like, okay, new plan, ditch the old plan. We're just going to trust everybody because we're brainwashed. And I'm just like, no, this is only going to end badly. um, and then we have the rest of everything that's killing my soul, where there's writing and it's making me very emotional, and the just I have a lot of feelings about everything, and they're making out in a field of flowers, and it's very it was a very cinematic scene. It was very pretty, and there's no way that that ended with just chaste kissing, since they're finally by themselves. Just saying. And then we jump to an immediate flower parallel that, like, I was like, oh no, emotional whiplash. And she still has the rose, and it's really upsetting. And there's gold tied to the he's, you know, chained to the this fencing apparently that Emma just has in her basement because reasons, I guess. And she keeps threatening him about how she's going to turn him into a hero, and she has Merida tied to her like, Emma's just turning into this weird, crazy, like, gangster. Like, I'm just gonna tie you to my car and leave you here in this creepy tunnel under the toll bridge. And she stole Merida's heart, and she's gonna use Merida to make, they pun title dropped, they're gonna make Rumple brave. Ha 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 ha. And I don't like, I'm glad that, like, Gold keeps saying, it's like, you're not going to make me a hero. And I think it's partly because you can't make, like, darkness isn't going to, like, force somebody to be good and be a hero, the perfect hero. But I think it's also just a point of Gold being like, have you met me? Have you met Mr. Gold? Like, I'm kind of a coward. This isn't going to work out well for you. So, all right, boom, episode ends after the title drop, and that's it. So, okay. I'm going to go through comments. We'll talk about some things that we missed if you guys didn't do that. Yeah, Will, Scarlet, and Lily are hanging out. Yeah, let's just say that Will, Scarlet, and all the extras are just hanging out, drinking whiskey somewhere. So, yeah, the whole thing with, like, because it's just controlling people. Katie says Arthur's trick with the sand reminds me of what Regina did to Graham, and it's gross. Like, yeah, I mean, I saw, I think I saw that, and that's what made me think of, like, why, like, that's why it makes me mad, because it's just, you're controlling somebody. You're not. It's not. They're not willingly coming to you. They're your slave, basically, and it's like. And I've seen a lot of people are getting mad. They're like, well, that shouldn't have been on TV because that's bad. I'm like, no, that's why they showed it. It's to show you that he's a bad guy. And, like, you don't do this. You don't control people. If they don't love you, you let them go, because that's what a decent person does. Like, that's what a good person would do. So yeah, the whole thing, like, it's very alike to Regina controlling Graham's heart. It's just brainwashing, and that's bad. So yeah, it's the whole abusive relationship. I need to get a lifesaver. Not sponsored, just saying. I wouldn't mind one, but it's not sponsored. Yeah, it's an abusive relationship kind of thing. And I don't think, like, I don't believe that Arthur is that. He's just a very controlling person who doesn't want to lose what he thinks is rightfully his. So it's emotional abuse. It's not physically abusive, but it's equally as bad. Trust me on that. So. Yeah, I'm very happy to pretend that Arthur is too busy as well, because that's just gross and I don't want to think about it. So, Violet's horse's name is Nicodemus. Oh my god, why is that so precious to me? I don't know why it's so precious, but it is. Oh my gosh. I think I'm just having secretive nim feels, but, like, okay, I need to scroll up because otherwise I'm going to focus on this stupid horse's name. Nicodemus is a horse's name. That's so precious. Okay. Yeah. Okay, I'm gonna keep going because I'm just gonna focus on this. And oh my gosh, I don't know why I'm so emotional about. I think I'm just emotional about everything, and like that just kind of tipped me over the edge again. I'm drooling because I have a candy in my mouth. Okay. Kind of hoping for more Regina and Hook moments. They're more similar than thing. Okay. I love Regina and Hook together. They fight like brother and sister, and it's amazing. There's one great fanfic that Captain Kitten writes on Tumblr where it's Hooked Queen siblings, and it's amazing. Because I think that I am a little bit bitter that they did that. That's not how it ended up. That Hook and Emma are Hook and Regina are siblings. They look similar, like they act similarly. They both were controlled by Korra to some extent. So like I think it would be just great if they were. But I think either one of the later episodes this half of the season, there's going to be an episode that's very Hook and Regina centric. And we will talk about that a little bit more. I have a piece of paper that says casting spoilers on it. So I'm going to hold like spoilers are here and spoilers are away because I know there's some people who don't know about casting spoilers. We're going to talk about it. So we'll get to, there's going to be more Regina and Hook a little bit later on. So the basement does kind of look like Rumpel's cell. I don't think that's on accident either. It might even be the same set, and they just kind of redecorated a little bit. So, yeah. I think I don't think we're going to get more of Lily and Mal this half of the season. I think we're going to wait till the next half of the season. There'll be more on that because I think in the hot seat interview that was released on Friday, the yes or no question was, will we see Lily this season, or will we see Lily in the next couple of episodes, or this half of the season? The answer was no, and then it was not this half of the season. So, like, it's not going to be for a couple episodes. So, I think Emma took Merida's heart instead just because she didn't before. So I think, or like she didn't crush it before, so she's like, okay, well, I didn't use you, or I didn't kill you, so now I'm just going to use you because you are now going to be of use to me. So, I'm sorry if you can like hear the candy clacking against my teeth. I know it's kind of gross, but so scrolling through. Yeah, so okay, so we're going to talk a little bit about, let me get my paper really quickly. It's on the floor. Why did I stick it down here? I can't. Oh, crap. My feet are not hands, and I can't grab things. Okay. So we have, and my pen is, all right. So this is the point. I'm going to have this thing. Okay. So we're going to talk casting spoilers now. So you can mute this, and then I will be holding this when it's over because the spoilers are over. So if you don't want to know casting spoilers that were just announced this week, please feel free to mute, and I will hold that up when we're done talking about things. So, excuse me. So we are going to talk about, mute this right now, talking about spoilers. Okay. So this week it was announced that this guy, Adam Crostel, was cast as Hook's father. And he's going to be making an appearance. I think he confirmed on Twitter that his first episode is going to be the last episode of this half of the season, so 5/11. Now, they said at New York Comic Con that the episode that he was going to appear in was going to be an episode that was very centric on Hook and Regina. And it was going to be revealing a lot of Hook's backstory, specifically in this case with his father. In the hot seat interview that was released on Friday from EW, there was a yes or no question about, are we going to see more of Liam? The answer was yes. Now, I don't think that that's going to be Bernard Curry. I think it's going to be younger Liam. I think we're going to have, we haven't gotten any casting announcements on who's going to be playing young Killian or anybody else yet. So I think it's going to be why Jones Sr. or Papa Jones or Daddy Jones or whatever we've been calling him, why he left. And according to Adam, we don't know if Adam Crostel is trolling us yet or if he's being sincere or whatever. It's a little bit up in the air right now on that, if he means like, you know, oh, abandoning is such a strong word, or like if he's going to be around for more than just one episode, or whatever's going on with that. So we're not really sure what's happening yet. And this goes into what a lot of people are speaking about, how the second half of the season is going to be hell. Again, I don't know anything about that. I try to stay away from spoilers as much as possible. Again, it doesn't really work when people don't tag them. It happens, again, like interviews and stuff, like that's all free game because it's officially released and sanctioned things. Even so, I don't watch the promos and like sneak peeks and whatever it comes out, because I like to be emotionally surprised by things. So we're not really sure if it's going to be literally hell, which would be an interesting way to introduce Killian's father, who, you know, last name of Jones could be Davy Jones. Adam has said that his first name is not Davy in the show. Again, take it as you will. So Davy Jones is the ferryman of souls of sailors to the underworld. This could go a lot of different ways. We're not really sure what's going on with that. So, but we're really excited, and it's very exciting to see where they're going to go with that. And it's crazy if you look at pictures. Somebody posted a comparison of Bernard Curry, Adam Crostel, and Colin O'Donoghue together, and like you can see like Killian got the dimples and like the nose is Liam's, like the whole thing. I was just like, casting department, you need to stop being so good, because like this looks like a family and it's crazy. So yeah, it was super crazy. Yeah, the whole thing where Killian has dad's hair in his mom's eye, like that's like okay, and his dad's dimples, like no, and I like kind of freak out for a second, because like what if he does, like what if Daddy Jones does the like scratch, he has the nervous tick, or like I know that when Bernard was cast, he watched a lot of, sorry, the candy is like in tiny pieces. He watched a lot of how Colin's acting, and like the whole like he does this thing where he rolls his eyes and like shakes his head a little bit in exasperation. So Bernard watched all these tapes and like made sure that he knew about that, and like he did these little things to like show little family traits between them, how they both like could be father or be brothers, and they had the same thing. So like, and I'm just like, is he gonna do the eye rolling, head shaking thing too? Because I don't know if my heart can handle that. So, oh, I saw that Daddy O'Donoghue offered Daddy Jones advice on Twitter. I saw that. I cracked up so hard. I was really hoping, I'm like, we're all just kind of waiting. I know Hillary was saying, like, she's like, I'm literally just waiting for Colin to just tweet, hi, Dad. Like, and I'm kind of waiting for that too, and it hasn't happened. I'm so angry about that. But, yeah, I don't know. And I think, yeah, the whole, like, the Furies and Sharon and thing, like, I don't, and we're getting into, like, there's a lot of hints about Greek mythology. So there are people, like, the golden apple was in the chest, and there was something else that I can't remember, but there has been a lot of little hints here and there about Greek mythology. So people might be onto something with the underworld. I don't know how they would even do that. My brain is just kind of melting if I try to think about it, so I don't. Again, I don't really do speculation outside of here. Like, I stay away from it most of the times. So blah. It's kind of everywhere right now.
but it's kind of insane, and I'm looking forward to it. I'm really looking forward to seeing how, excuse me, seeing how all that will play out. It'll be really good. So yeah, I think he said on Twitter that it's 511 is his first episode. So like it'll be like the last second. And since the episode's name is Swan Song, I don't know. I'm trying not to think about it because there was one episode title that got released and I was just like, nope, I gotta stay away from episode titles because I can't think about it. I'm still hoping for a musical episode for episode 100. I don't do musical episodes. I hated the one that Grey's Anatomy did just because I don't think it made any sense at all. I loved the one they did in Buffy, and I will love the one they did in Scrubs. But the one they did with for Grey's Anatomy, I was just like, this nothing about this. I get that your cast can sing and they could, and it was great. But I was just like, I still hate it because it doesn't make any sense. But I was like, but you're a Disney show and you could have Disney songs, and also Colin was in a band, and I would love to hear him sing more. I'm really looking. I think The Dust Storm is coming out this week at a film festival, and I'm waiting for them to announce when they're going to release it on in demand or whatever, or direct video demand. What you can tell that I use these services because I know the names of them. So yeah, I don't really know, but if you are muting, just let me know. Spoilers are over, so you can unmute now. So yeah, I don't really know what's going on with things. I'm just know that I'm having a lot of emotions about my OTP kissing in a field of flowers and a very cinematic pan away and then more flower feels. So yeah, I don't think that's what's going on here. So yeah, Colin really does need to sing, and Robert can sing. I was trying to think because I know that a couple of the cast members have done like things that are musically talented, and I'm just like, everybody needs to sing. Why are we not doing a singing episode? If JMO couldn't sing, it'd be great because if everybody else was just like singing and she was the one going, why are we singing? And she's like, well, I can't sing because you guys are Disney princesses and I'm not. Like, I think it would be kind of hilarious if she was the only one who didn't, because she's like, I don't know how to sing. Okay. All right. So is there anything else that we need to discuss? Because my voice is, I'm holding up pretty good. And this is way shorter than I thought that we were going to make it today. Because I was expecting there to be a lot of weeping. And there was, but I got a lot of it out of my system before I stopped. So yeah, I don't really know what's going on with spoilers redacted because I already said the spoilers are over. So I'm not gonna talk about it anymore. Oh, excuse me. All right, do we need to talk about anything else besides everybody wants a musical episode? I'm gonna wait for this to refresh really quickly so we can see. I can go back up to this. What are you telling me? Oh. I don't want, okay, that's muted. Good. Okay. I think Josh Dallas can actually sing. I think that's a thing that exists, but I don't know for certain. So, oh, okay. Yeah, let's talk about the ratio of Dark Emma versus Light Emma, especially in light of her keeping the rose and the white picket fence. That's a good point. I think we have seen a lot of Light Emma and not a whole lot of Dark Emma. And I think they're doing that on purpose because, again, I mentioned this before in previous episodes about how, I think Emma's trying to like hold on to the true love's kiss. Like that's her trump card in case everything goes to shit. They can make Dark Swan sing, curse everybody to sing for her. That'd be good too. I think, yeah, like I said before, I think she's keeping the True Love's Kiss in reserve. Like that's her trump card. So like she's holding on to things like the rose, and she has a white picket fence around her house. So she's like, even though Killian in the present day is doing the thing where he's like, I don't love you, or not, I don't love you. It's I loved you, past tense. But again, that leaves there's wiggle room for that. There's some negotiation about it. She is so she's using this. She's like, okay, even though he's saying that, I know that that's not true. I have this and this, and we went horseback riding. We went fast to get the demons out of my head. We literally chased all the demons out of my head. So I think that's for real, like her, like reminders for herself. Is she, so she can have the white picket fence when she's all done. She can have this. She has this symbol of their affection for each other and their love for each other. So again, we haven't really seen much of Dark Emma, just in the sense of like we've seen her, but she's been just kind of hanging out and being very mysterious and dropping creepy, mysterious hints. And again, I think that's on purpose, where we see way more of Emma and Camelot, where she's dressed all in white, and she's, her hair is down, and it's very, relaxed and innocent looking. So it's very much a contrast of like, we need to remember that this is who Emma is and this is who Emma wants to be. It's just right now she has to put on this mask of the all black clothes, the very tight fitting black clothes. Her hair is very pinned back, very tight. I keep thinking that I know that one of Jen's workout regimens is she does ballet. So like I've kind of just kept thinking that she's like a very strict ballerina. Like she has her hair pulled back and she's wearing the tight clothes, and like she has the way her neck look like. I'm kind of obsessed with the way that JMO's neck is. Like she has this very elegant looking neck, and that's a very weird thing, but I keep noticing. I'm like, your neck is really pretty. I'm sorry, that's weird. And I think that's also like a tribute to Swan Lake, and there's the Black Swan in Swan Lake, and how I keep thinking of every time I think of that, like the Black Swan in Swan Lake, I just keep thinking of Mila Kunis ringing, "I am the Swan Queen." And I'm just like, nope, don't do that. Don't think like this is not Mila Kunis having a mental breakdown, a psychotic breakdown. So yeah, I think this is very much just having a slight allusion to Swan Lake, with the way that she's looking and everything, and how, like, since we do see, again, I've been repeating myself a lot, since we do see more of Emma in the loose fitting clothing and the hair is down, and she's not so she's pale, but she's not like so, and she's kind of just like, I'm just kind of trying to fight off the darkness, and here she's very focused and severe when she is being the Dark Swan. It's very much, I think it's on purpose. So, I'm trying not to repeat myself again and again and again, because I feel like all I'm doing. I don't know if Jared can sing. That's a good question. Because I know a lot of young men can, but then their voices change, and that doesn't work anymore. So I don't know. He might have been able to, and now he might not be able to because his voice dropped. I think I missed something. Yeah, the whole thing, but like Storybrooke Dark Swan doesn't seem very bad until tonight, when she's got Rumple and Merida tied up and she takes Merida's heart. It's the most evil we've seen her so far, but she has so many memories with her, it seems to go against all that. I think still she's trying, like we saw in the preview for next episode, that they have Merida and Rumple in the forest sword fighting. So I'm just trying to like see what her end game is, and I can't, and there's a reason for that. It's because they haven't told us what her end game is, other than take the sword back out, and they need to find a hero to do that. So I don't really know what is going on with that. And I think she just needed to, because she can't, like, I'm just trying to like think like she has to keep this persona up of she is this ultimate evil, and she can't just say, hey, can you train up Rumple for me because you're good at that. Like, and I was just thinking, like, why doesn't Merida just pull the sword out of the stone then? Like, there has to be a reason that Rumple would be the one to pull it out, and I don't know what that is. And I'm just like, I'm trying to figure out why she's so focused on Rumple doing it, when if she's saying that she needs to have Merida make him that way, then like I don't know why she needs Rumple specifically, and that's what I'm trying to figure out, and I can't. So yeah. Yeah, I don't really know. And then like in the promo, she's weeping, and when Jennifer Morrison cries, I cry, and I was already crying because of other things. So I was just like, I'm there's answers coming, and I'm just impatiently waiting for them to come. So yeah. So that's kind of all that I have for right now. I don't really see yeah, there's a lot of JMO weeping, and it's upsetting to me because I don't want her to cry. Makes me sad. So I feel like I'm missing like every third comment or something because it's not coming in the right way. Womp. So yeah, so I think that's all that I have to discuss. If nobody else has anything we would like to discuss, please, I'll give you a couple of seconds to catch up because you guys are about 15 seconds behind me. So I'll give you a second to respond if we have other things that we need to talk about, because I can't think of anything. I think I'm just emotionally compromised, and I have no other significant thoughts. So I keep looking. I got the Emma and Hook Funkos, and they're sitting up on my desk, and I just keep looking at them going, you need to be happy in Canada again. So oh, that might be it. Maybe Emma thinks we need a non-human heart that doesn't have the everyday little darkness. Yeah, because he's like, we don't know what the color of his heart is anymore. Does he still have a white heart, or is it back to red, or whatever? Oh, thank you, Jamie. I love your streams. Happy face. Thank you. I'm glad you like them. I like doing them. Even if like last week, my voice was gone for 2 days afterwards. So I'm glad you guys like them. It makes me happy to do them. So yeah, I don't know. Again, with the whole thing with Rumple, I'm waiting for them to explain things because I wasn't what I was expecting them to do with his blank slate. So I'm very interested to see how it all works out. So, all right. I think if that's it, I don't have anything else. I'm just emotionally compromised by Captain Swan and horseback riding and them being dorky parents and spying on Henry and his first girlfriend. So that's the story of my life right now. Yeah, I'm not really sure what's going on next week with the episode. It's just called Dreamcatcher. There's some very upset Emma and Regina in Camelot, which I really love Regina's Camelot dress. It's a great color for her. And she's just, it just fits her so well. I'm just like, you need to stop being so pretty because I can't take it. Everybody's so pretty. Why is this entire cast so pretty? I can't take it. Yeah, so there's that, and then there's some Emma and Henry, and there needs to be some more Emma and Henry in Storybrooke right now, just because it's very much, I think it's important that they focus a little bit more on that too. But again, I don't really know what's. Oh, they broke into the house too, because everybody was in the basement. Yeah, that's all I got for next week. I don't know what's happening, and that's okay. I will find out what happens next week. Yeah, you guys are about 15 seconds behind me. I just double checked on the stream to make sure that I did not miss anything. But I think that's going to be it for me for now. So I we have nothing else to discuss. If we do, then please feel free to leave it in a comment in the comment section down below. If you made it through all this way, thank you so much for watching everything. Really, I really sincerely appreciate it. I think we had the most people in tonight. Concurrent peak people watching was 16, and that's amazing. That's the most we've had so far. It's been about 9 to 12 people the last couple episodes. So this is great. Please keep telling people to come join in, because again, it is so much fun to see all the comments scrolling through. It's just fun to talk to everybody. So again, I don't know how to sign off videos anymore because it's just, yeah. All right. So but again, thank you guys so much for watching. I really do sincerely appreciate it. I love doing this. I love hanging out with you guys every single week, and it's a nice way for me to start my week, especially when I have lots of stressful things happening in my life. So I will see you after the episode next week, and hopefully it's a good one and we have more things to talk about, or it's at least not me just sobbing the entire time because OTP feels, because, well, it's fun for me. You know, I know that you guys like to talk about other things. So I will see you guys next week. Thanks for watching. Bye.